Hey guys, welcome back to the predicted 23 lineup for this week. My name is Ari. This week we're taking on Richmond at Marvel Stadium on Saturday. Before we get into it, make sure you guys let us know what you think. Do you disagree with me? Do you agree? We'd love to hear. Let us know in the comments. And let's have a quick look back on last week. I said Mitch Owens would come in. He did. I said Liam Stocker would come in. He did. Liam Henry didn't get up. I thought he would. Hugh Boxall did not debut. However, Kilda did, and Collard was a shock selection I definitely did not see coming. The outs, Harry Boyd was out, I predicted. Zane Cordy or Ari Showmaker, I thought. They both got the axe. Zach Jones and O'Connell kept their spots, and Hasty surprisingly got axed. I did not predict Hammer would play in the back line, but I did say Wood would go up forward. So, 50-50. We'll see how we go this week, but not too shabby of a start. So, yeah, let's get straight into it. As you can see, the team up here on the screen, the ins and the outs. There's three of them. It's injury dependent this week, I'd say. This is assuming that, of course, Hunter Clark doesn't get up. Stocker we know won't get up because that's a concussion, of course, and then Henry and Sharman tests, I suppose. Henry's not really a test, but it depends if they give him another hit out in the VFL. So let me talk through this. Henry, I do think we'll get through. I think last week was more precaution. It wasn't about him going into the VFL and tearing it up. It was more just go get in there, get some match fitness up, and come back into the ones the week after. I think that's what's going on there. So I think he will come in. Cooper Sharman, I'm not. It's line ball, like I said last week, 50-50 with him. To be honest, I'm not too sure. If he does get up, Kilda will go out, which I'll talk about in a second. And the big one, Toby Travaglia. He played really well in the VFL. He had, I don't have his stats up, but he had about 30 touches, I think, 25 touches and 9 tackles, which was a very impressive outing from him. I think he's also kicked a goal. Yeah, he has. So he's had a really good game. And I think, pick 8 in the draft. You want to see what your youngsters are going to give you. No disrespect to Richmond. I'm not jinxing anything. They're going to be, you got to play the same way no matter what opponent you're playing. But I think if you're going to give him a go, this is a good chance to get him out there. So the outs, of course, Liam Stocker, he has got that concussion, so that is unfortunate for him. Hopefully he recovers up and is back in round 4, I think, is when he would be available. Hunter Clark, he is a test on the injury list as of now. It's put down as abdominal. I don't know much more about that injury. So, yeah, that would be probably line ball 50-50 if he's going to get up. Keeler, people think this is probably a harsh one. And maybe that's fair enough. Maybe it is a little harsh, but I think we saw some really promising signs from Keeler on the weekend. He took a great mark that pretty much sealed the game. He kicked an impressive set shot that also came at a crucial point of the game. So credit to him there. However, the bloke had 8 touches at 25% efficiency, 4 clangers. He cramped through the second half. And when we needed a target up forward, and I understand it is a lot of pressure for a debutant, to be under, but he wasn't able to stand up for us and provide the contest we needed from him. So I think if Sharman's fit, he will lose his spot. Maybe it's a little unlucky, but he's got a taste for it now. He can go back into the VFL, hone his craft, and hopefully end up back in the first sometime soon. I'm certainly not ruling him out as a long-term prospect, but I think as of now, if Sharman is available, he comes in and takes that spot pretty quickly, assuming Wood stays forward, which I thought was a fantastic move from Ross. We saw a glimpse of it in round 1. It seemed to work well, and Wood was just about my man of the match on Saturday night. I thought he played exceptionally well. Some other factors into the team, I guess, this week will be with Stocker going out. Does Ross want to bring in a Hasty type, another defensive type, into that back 6 rotation, or is he happy putting O'Connell back there? Maybe Windhager can roll through, and we sort of change the team balance, the team structure from there. I'm not sure. That's obviously going to be a Ross decision. I think, given the opponent we're coming up against this week, it would be great to see Travaglia. But if he doesn't come in, I think it would be Hasty instead. That is, team balance dependent, obviously. Some other players that were in contention that I just don't quite think will get up this week. Ari had 31 touches, loads of kicks. I assume quite a bit of them were kickouts. To be honest, he's always racking up a lot of touches in the VFL. But yeah, like we talk about with him, it's about working on one-on-one, his defensive instincts, and just improving generally his game defensively. As if that's where he's going to play, that's what he needs to do. And I think he's on the right track. Jack Carroll had a really good game, 10 tackles, 26 touches. I think he's probably going to have to string some games together, be a bit more of a consistent performer in that VFL side, and then I think he'll be pushing for selection. Boxall, 20 touches, very unlucky not to be picked these first couple of weeks. I think probably I'd say sometime before round 10 he'll get a go, just depending on injuries and team performance, etc. I don't think this is the week for him, but at some stage I would not be surprised to see him in pretty shortly. And Hasty, I just touched on, holding their spots that maybe some people don't think they shouldn't, but maybe their names are up in the air at the selection table. Lance Collard, shock selection last week, but man, I thought he delivered. He didn't, light up the stat sheet, but 2 goals. Yeah, they were both from the goal square, but he provided a lot of energy. He just looked really dangerous all day. And yeah, I just think he did more than enough to keep his spot. Max Hall, didn't light the world on fire, but he played fantastic in round 1. I think he definitely deserves another go. O'Connell, we touched on. I think he'll keep his spot, certainly, because we need him in the back line there. Also, that game-saving mark was just ridiculous. Zach Jones, I'm just mentioning him because I did say we should drop him last week. He came out and proved me wrong, which I couldn't be more thrilled about. He had an awesome game outside of that smother. Yikes. But he did have a fantastic game, so he certainly keeps his spot. Caminiti, there was a lot of question marks around him, but he played a fantastic game in the back line. Obviously, he's in. Garcia, does he stay the sub? I don't know. See, the thing is with that, he probably should go into the team, but that means if we were to debut a Travaglia, that he should go into the team if Clark is out, that is. But then if we are to debut Travaglia, do you really want him to be the sub on his debut? I don't know. So maybe Garcia gets on. He's certainly not going out of the team. The question there is he going to stay the sub or is he going to go in? So yeah, that's sort of the selection for the week. I'll just go through the team before we wrap up here. So from the full back line, we've got Liam O'Connell, Callum Wilkie, Jimmy Webster. Half back line, Nasai Wangani Malira. I've put Anthony Caminiti in there, of course. And then Jack Sinclair. On the wings, Darcy Wilson and Brad Hill. Half forward, we've got Max Hall, Mason Wood, Mitch Owens, who was just fantastic on Saturday night. From the full forward line, Liam Henry coming in, full forward, Keeler or Sharman. Like I said, that's just going to be injury dependent. Jack Higgins, who as well played a fantastic game on Saturday night. Royal Marshall, Jack Steele, Jack McRae in the midfield, along with Marcus Windhager, and rounding it out on the bench, we've got Hunter Clark or Toby Travaglia, Lance Collard, Zach Jones, Ryan Burns, and the sub I've currently got slated as Hugo Garcia, with Harry Boyd, Schoenmaker, and Boxall as the emergencies. So, in, Liam Henry, Toby Travaglia, Cooper Sharman out, Liam Stocker, Hunter Clark, Isaac Keeler. We'll see how we go. Obviously, it's going to be dependent on injuries. Is there going to be a shock selection this week? I don't know. Round 1, we had Ari that came out of nowhere. Round 2, there was Collard. So who knows what we're in for this week. But if we perform anywhere near like we did on Saturday night, we will be right in with a shot to go 2-1. And hopefully maybe even be in the 8 by the end of the week. So that's the video for this week, guys. We'll go the Saints and talk next week.